Let's start today in standing pose. So let's come to the front edge of our mats, spreading our toes nice and wide. And let's rock forward and back, coming to a nice balancing point where we're balanced over the center of the ball of the foot and the heels, feeling the feet pressing down into the ground, and with the toes spread, just relax them down onto the ground. Let's bend our knees a little bit so that they're not locked. Quads are engaged, and we'll draw our attention towards our hips and pelvis. We're going to inhale to arch, exhale to round, and come halfway in between so we're not arched or rounded. We're right in the middle in a nice neutral spine. From there, breathe into the belly, lift the ribs, lift the chest, roll the shoulder blades down and back, and let the hands rest with the palms open facing forward. And then reach the head up to the sky. And let's just stand here in our mountain pose for a few breaths, feeling the feet pressing down, feeling the head reaching up. Breathing into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and breathing out through the chest, softening the ribs, softening the belly. And one more time, breathing into the belly. Feel the lift through the ribs, feel the length as we reach up through the chest, and breathe out, softening the chest, softening the ribs, softening the belly. And now breathing in through the belly, ribs, and chest. Let's reach the arms up overhead. Feeling that length in our bodies. And as we exhale, bring them down. And we'll start to move a little bit. Inhale through the belly, ribs, and chest, bringing the arms up. As we exhale, sit back like we're sitting in a chair. Weight is in our heels. We can wiggle our toes. Bring the hands out in front. And again, nice big inhale, reach the hands up. 3-part breath. As we exhale, sit back into chair. And one more time, nice big inhale. Bringing the arms up overhead, and exhale, sitting back into our chair. So let's add on a little bit. Inhale, bring the hands up and overhead. As we exhale, bend the knees, hinge forward from the hips, bring the hands towards the floor. Inhale all the way back up, and then exhale back into our chair pose. And again, nice big inhale up to the sky. As we exhale, bend the knees, forward fold towards the floor. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back into our chair pose, sitting back, weight is over the heels, we can wiggle the toes. And one more time, nice big inhale all the way up. Lengthening through the belly, ribs, and chest. As we exhale, bend the knees, hinge forward from the hips towards the floor, and reverse swan dive all the way up. Sitting back, weight is in the heels. And then one more time, inhale all the way up. And this time we're going to add on. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Exhale, sink back down, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back into our chair pose. And again, 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up, breathing through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for monkey, reach the tailbone back, the heart center forward, shoulders back. Exhale, sinking down, bend those knees, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back to our chair. One last time, deep breath in. Breathing through the belly, ribs, and chest. As we exhale, hinge forward from the hips towards the floor. Inhale, halfway up for monkey, reach the tailbone back and the chest forward. Exhale, sink down, bend those knees, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, sink back into that chair pose, and inhale all the way up again, back to standing. Exhale, bring the hands down to the side. Now we're going to turn sideways, so take the left foot out to the side, facing forward, and we're going to move into some sunflowers and moonflowers. So for sunflowers, we're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead. As we exhale, bend our knees with our toes turned out at a 45-degree angle. Bring the hands down towards the floor. Reverse all the way up. Exhale, bend those knees, coming down. So let's try that a few more times. So inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Keep the head and chest lifted. We're just going to bend those knees and flow in and out of these sunflower poses. So we're inhaling, coming up, exhaling, coming down. So breathe into the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, coming down. Now, moving into our moon squats. The legs will do the same thing, but the arms will squeeze together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So we'll inhale through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sit down and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So inhale again. Exhale, sitting back. Inhaling through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Inhaling again. Exhale, sitting back. Weight is in the heels. We can wiggle the toes. And one more time. Sitting back into that moon squat. Inhale again. This time come back to the front edge of our mats. Back to that mountain pose. Rocking forward and back on the feet. Feet pressed down, knees are bent. Shoulders are down and back, head is lifted. And we're going to move into our sun salutations. So inhale all the way up. As we exhale, hinge forward from the hips, come forward. Inhale, halfway up into monkey. Exhale, come on down to the floor. And we're gonna come into our plank on our knees. From there, let's slowly lower down like we're doing a push-up. Inhale, reach the chest forward, shoulder blades are down and back, and exhale back into our child's pose. Nice big inhale here, nice slow exhale. When we're ready, back up on our hands and knees. And we're gonna inhale to cow, exhale to cat. And one more time, inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Sit back into our child's pose, deeply breathing in here, nice slow exhale. When we're ready, walk one leg forward, then the other. Halfway up for our monkey pose. Exhale, sinking back down. Bend those knees, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back into our chair, and we'll try that again, our variation of a sun salutation. Inhaling up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Exhaling, coming on down into our plank on the knees. Slowly lower down like we're doing a push-up. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Lift those hands if that feels good. Exhale back into our child's pose. Nice big inhale here, nice slow exhale. When we're ready, back up on our hands and knees. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat. And one more time, inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Now this time, go ahead and bring the right leg forward into a lunge, followed by the other leg. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Exhale, sink down, bend those knees. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back into our chair, and adding on one more time. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Tailbone back, chest reaches forward. Exhaling, sinking down. Coming back down onto our hands and knees, into our plank on our knees. Slowly lower down like we're doing a push-up. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Lift those hands if that feels good, or bring them back into a locust pose. Exhale, come on down, press back into our child's pose. This time, come up onto our hands and knees, and we'll move into a spinal balance. So first, inhale to cow, exhale to cat, halfway in between so we're not arched or rounded. And let's go ahead and lift the right leg this time, keeping the hips level. Reach that right leg back and the left arm away. Nice big inhale here. Exhale down to the ground. Inhale, reaching out with the left foot, right arm. Exhale down to the ground. One more time on each side. Inhale, reach out from our strong center like we're being pulled apart. Exhaling back down, abdominals are engaged, and let's reach out, reaching. Exhale back to the ground. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat, sitting back into that child's pose. Deeply breathing in here, nice slow exhale. When we're ready, walk our feet forward for that standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway up for monkey, reach the chest forward. Exhale, sink down, bend those knees, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back to chair, and adding on a little bit more. Inhaling all the way up through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, knees slightly bent to protect the low back. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Exhale, coming down. Walk back into a plank on your feet or knees and move through your vinyasa. Slowly lower down, abdominals engaged. Inhale, roll the shoulders down and back. Chest reaches forward. Lift the hands if you like, or bring them back behind you for a locust pose. As we exhale, come on down. Press back into our child's pose. Nice big inhale here, nice slow exhale. When you're ready, tuck the toes under, and let's come into down dog. Pressing the heels down towards the back of the mat, alternating the heels. And let's just go through our down dog guidelines again. Make sure our feet are about hip distance apart, heels pressing towards the floor. Bend the knees a little bit, press the hips back to the wall behind you. Fingers are spread wide, shoulders are rolled down and back towards the hip bones, towards the back pockets if you had them. Elbows soft, head is right between the elbows. Nice big inhale here, nice slow exhale. Go ahead and stay here for another breath or two if you like. Shift the weight if you need to. Work on pressing that tailbone towards the back of the mat. And when we're ready, look forward, walk those feet forward for a standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Exhale, sink down, bend those knees, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale back into our chair pose. And one more time. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. This time as we exhale, come back into our plank on our feet or knees. Slowly move through that vinyasa. Lower down like you're doing a push-up. Inhale into our cobra or our locust pose. Exhale back down into child's pose. And transitioning into down dog if you like. Remember, you can always stay in child's pose if that feels better for you. So from our down dog, just shift the weight, alternate those heels, and we're going to bring that right leg forward into a lunge, dropping the back knee towards the floor. Nice big inhale here, nice slow exhale, just starting to open up that left hip flexor. Inhale again with hands on either side of that right foot. Make sure the knee is right over the ankle. Exhale, sinking a little deeper. Keeping that left hand on the floor beside that right foot, bring the right hand to the low back. Inhale here to lengthen. Stay light on that left hand. Exhale, soften the belly. Bring the right ribs and the right shoulder towards the sky. Float that right arm up if it feels good. Inhale here as we expand. As we exhale, bring that right hand down towards the floor. Go ahead and shift back into that nice little hamstring opener. Drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. Inhaling here to lengthen. Exhale, sinking a little deeper. And one more breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhaling, sinking. And then come back forward into that lunge. This time, go ahead and walk your hands up just above that right knee. Tilt the pelvis so the left hip is opening. So we want to draw the right hip back, pressing the left hip forward, squaring off those hips. Hands are just above that right knee. And if you like, bring that right hand up and the left, either gazing straight ahead or up. Nice big inhale here as we exhale, hands back down on either side of that right knee. Press back into your plank on your feet or knees and move through your vinyasa. Come down like you're doing a push-up. Inhaling into that little cobra or locust pose. Exhale back down and press back into child's pose. Deeply breathing in here, nice slow exhale. From your hands and knees, go ahead and bring that other leg forward. So the left leg forward this time into a lunge with the right knee on the ground. And just stay here with your hands on either side of that left foot. Inhale here to expand. Exhale as we sink a little bit deeper. And again, one more breath here, tilting the pelvis, drawing the left hip back, pushing the right hip forward to open up that hip flexor. From here, keeping the right hand on the ground, stay light on that right hand. Make sure it's right underneath the right shoulder. Bring that left hand to the hip. Inhale to lengthen through the belly, ribs, and chest. As we exhale, soften the belly, pull the left ribs and the left shoulder towards the sky. From there, if you like, float that left hand up. Inhale here to lengthen and expand, and exhale, sinking a little deeper into this twist. When you're ready, take that left hand back down towards the floor and press back into that hamstring stretch, pulling the left toes back, and again, drawing the left hip back, pushing the right hip forward to square off those hips. Inhale to lengthen through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. And one more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, sinking. And when we're ready, bring that left knee forward again into that lunge. Go ahead and bring the hands just above that left knee. Inhale here through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sinking forward. But remember to square those hips. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. So we're focusing on opening up that right hip flexor. If you like, you can stay here or bring the hands up to the sky. So left arm, and then if it feels good, right arm. Inhale through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sinking into that pose a little deeper. And when we're ready, bring those hands back down towards the floor and press back into that child's pose. Inhale here as we expand. Exhale, sinking a little deeper. Either coming from hands and knees or moving into down dog. We're going to walk the feet forward for a standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway up for monkey. Nice straight spine, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, sink forward, bend those knees, reverse swan dive all the way up. Breathing through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sit back into chair pose, and let's add on. Inhaling all the way up, lengthening the spine with every breath in. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway up into monkey. Exhale, come back into your plank on your feet or knees. Move through your vinyasa. If you're tired of the vinyasas, just go back into child's pose or move into cat and cow. That's always a good substitute. Press back into child's pose now. Inhaling here as we expand. Exhale, sinking a little deeper. And let's come into our down dog this time. So from our down dog, alternate those heels, pressing one heel back then the other. And we're going to take that right leg, lift it up, just so that it's parallel to the mat. So keep the hips square. And we want to focus on pushing back with that right foot, like there's a wall behind us, or someone's holding onto the ankle and pulling it back. Nice big inhale, pressing into the left foot, reaching back with that right foot. And as we exhale, bring it down and through into a lunge. So the right knee is over that right ankle. Pivot that back foot to about a 45-degree angle, and then pressing into those feet, come on up into our warrior one. We're gonna sink forward into the front foot, push back into the back foot, tucking the pelvis under if that feels good. If this bothers your knee at all, just pivot the foot into a crescent lunge so everything's square and facing the front edge of the mat. Otherwise, you can keep it turned out a little bit as long as it doesn't cause any problems in your knee. So sink forward, push back, bring the hands to the heart center. Nice big inhale here, exhale, sinking a little deeper. So we can either stay here in this warrior one, holding it like this, or we can flow. As you inhale, sweep the hands out to the sides and up. As you exhale, bring the hands down and through. Try 2 more times. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, down and through. Breathe into the belly, ribs, and chest on that inhale. Feel that length we're creating in the spine. Exhale, down and through. We're going to flow into our moon salutation. So let's go ahead and set up for pyramid pose. So squaring off the hips, drawing the right hip back, pushing the left hip forward. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale here as we lengthen through the belly, ribs, and chest. As we exhale, start to hinge forward from the hips. Coming down as far as we comfortably can. We can either keep the hands on the hips or bring the hands back behind us for a chest opener. Draw the right hip back, press the left hip forward. The chest opener is nice because I think it helps counterbalance you a little bit. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, starting to soften that hamstring. If you need to bend the knee a little bit, it's okay. The straighter you get it, the more of a stretch you'll get in that hamstring. So we can bring the hands down towards the floor if that feels good for us. The most important thing in this pyramid pose, remember, is to square off those hips. Pulling the right hip back, drawing the left hip forward. Inhale here to lengthen through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. And then the other thing you can do is think about engaging those quadricep muscles on the right leg. And as we do that, that helps that hamstring muscle soften just a little bit more. 1 more breath here. Nice slow exhale. When we're ready, we're going to transition right into our half moon. So walk the hands forward until they're both on the ground and that left leg starts to come up. From here, pressing into that standing foot, quads are engaged, drawing in through the pelvic floor and navel drawn to the spine. From the hip, rotate the left leg. The inside arch is parallel to the short end of the mat. Inhale here to lengthen out from that strong center. As we exhale, start to bring that left hand to the hip. Let the left ribs and the left shoulder come to the sky. Once we have that rotation, that left arm should float right up. Inhale here, out from our strong center. Exhale, holding it. And 1 more breath. Deep breath in. This time when we're ready to exhale, bring that left foot towards the floor, back into that moon squat that we did in the beginning. So the feet are turned out about 45 degrees and we're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale here. Exhale back into that moon squat. And now inhale up and exhale. This time bring our hands into a prayer position. So we'll alternate those two. Inhale up, exhale moon squat. Inhale up, exhale prayer squat. And 1 more time. Inhale up, exhale moon squat. Inhaling up, exhale hands in that prayer position. So we're going to pivot our feet and turn to the back of the mat now. So our left foot is facing forward and our back foot is turned out about 45 degrees, coming into that warrior one, sinking forward, pushing back. Again, if this bothers your knee, pivot that right foot so we're on the ball of the foot, coming into a crescent lunge. Otherwise, you can go into that warrior one. So either in warrior one or crescent lunge, we're gonna sink forward, press back, hands at the heart center, squaring off those hips. So the left hip is pulling back and the right hip is pulling forward. Inhale here through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sinking forward, pushing back. As we inhale this time, you can stay here or you can flow. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, bring them down and through. And 2 more. Deep breath in through the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. Exhale, down and through. 1 last time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, coming down. We're going to transition into our pyramid pose on this side. So start by squaring off the hips, bring the hands to the hips or back behind you into a chest expansion or even holding both elbows. Inhale here to lengthen. As we exhale, draw that left hip back, press the right hip forward and start to hinge forward at the hips. The key is really to square off those hips. So once we're down here, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinging forward. Remember to draw that left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale again to lengthen. Exhale, sinking forward. You can always bring the hands towards the floor or some blocks. Blocks are great in this pose. It just brings the floor closer to you. Inhale here to lengthen. As we exhale, start to draw that left hip back, right hip forward. Quads are engaged to help release that left hamstring just a little bit more. And we're going to transition into our half moon from this pose. So for half moon, just start to walk your hands forward and pick up that right leg, the back leg. You can stay right here for today if this is enough for you. Remember, you can stay at any variation of the pose that feels good for you. From here, we're going to press into that standing foot. Quads are engaged. Navel draws in, pelvic floor is lifted, and we're going to reach out from that strong center. So keep that feeling as we move through this pose. So from here, from that right hip, we're going to rotate the right leg so the inside arch is parallel to the mat. From here, inhale to lengthen through the belly, ribs, and chest. As we exhale, bring that right hand to the hip. You can stay right here. If you like, exhale, soften the belly, bring the right ribs and the right shoulder towards the sky, and then that right hand just floats right up. Inhale here to lengthen out from that strong center. Exhale, pausing here for a breath or two. And one more time, deep breath, inhale. Deep breath in, reaching out from that strong center. As we exhale this time, bring that right foot towards the floor. Back into our moon squat, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Inhaling up, exhale, prayer squat. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, moon squat. Inhaling up through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sitting back into that prayer squat, and one more of each. Inhaling up, exhale, moon squat. Last one on our prayer squat. Inhale up to lengthen, exhale, exhaling into prayer squat. Let's do this now moving with our breath. So we're going to transition back, facing the front edge of our mats with our back foot turned at a 45-degree angle. Come into our warrior one, sinking forward, pressing back. Tuck the tailbone under. Nice big inhale here all the way up through the belly, ribs, and chest. As we exhale, let's transition into that pyramid pose. So either folding the elbows or bringing them back behind you or hands on your hips. Inhale to lengthen. As we exhale, hinge forward from the hips into our pyramid lunge. Inhaling here, exhale, pulling the right hip back, drawing the left hip forward. Walking our hands forward, floating that left leg up. Stay anywhere in this pose that you need to. And just moving through it step by step. Rotate the left foot so the inside arch is parallel to the shoulder of the mat. Bring the left hand to the hip, rotate the ribs, left hand floats up. Nice big inhale here, out from that strong center. As we exhale, come into that moon squat, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale up, back into our prayer squat. Now pivot to the back end of the mat, back into that warrior one. So sinking forward, pressing back, foot 45 degrees, hands at the heart center. Either staying here or take a nice big inhale all the way up. Exhale down and through. And one more time, nice big inhale all the way up. Exhale down and through. This time transition into our pyramid. So square off those hips, right hip back, left hip back, right hip forward. Either hands on the hips, hold onto those elbows, or a nice chest opener. Inhale here. As we exhale, hinge forward from those hips again, drawing that left hip back and that right hip forward. Nice big inhale here as we lengthen. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And one more breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhaling, releasing. Walk those hands forward. Lift that back foot. So again, pressing into the standing foot, reaching back with that leg. Step by step, moving through it. Rotate the leg from the hip. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the hip. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, soften the belly. Rotate the right ribs and right shoulder, and float that right hand up if you like. One more nice big inhale here, out from our strong center. As we exhale, back into our moon squat. Inhaling up through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, back into our prayer squat. And one more time, just flowing through it, one breath per movement. As we inhale, come into our warrior one. Inhale here, exhale, sinking. Inhale again, exhale, come into that pyramid pose. Deep breath in here as we lengthen. Exhale as we sink. When we're ready, walk those hands forward, float that left leg up, and come into whatever variation of half moon you like. Nice big inhale here as we're ready to exhale back into our prayer squat, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale up, back into our moon squat, and then moving with our breath, transitioning to that warrior one, facing the back. Inhale up, exhale into that warrior one, and one more time. Inhale up, this time transition into that pyramid, draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Inhale here to lengthen through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sinking a little deeper. Walk those hands forward, lift that back leg. Move through any variation of half moon that you like. Inhale to expand out from that strong center as we draw the navel in. And when we're ready, back to our moon squat. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhaling up and exhale into our prayer squat. Great job. Inhale here. This time as we exhale, bring the hands to the hips, bend those knees, hinge forward from those hips. And we're going to come into a nice straddle wide pose. So make sure the feet this time are parallel to the short end of the mat. Bend the knees, reach the tailbone back, and walk the hands forward so they're right underneath the shoulders. Inhale here to lengthen, and as we exhale, start to hinge forward from the hips. Think about rotating the thighs inwards and tilting the pelvis, tilting the tailbone towards the sky, kind of like in down dog. You want to reach the tailbone back. Inhale here to lengthen, exhale, sink a little deeper. Let's go ahead and walk our hands forward as far as we can, just like in down dog. So we're working on lengthening that spine. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, softening a little bit deeper. Tiny bend in the knees to keep them from locking. Quads are engaged. Tailbone is reaching back. Inner thighs are kind of rotating. And then when we're ready, bring the hands back directly underneath the shoulders and then walk them down and through if you like. You can walk them back behind you, letting the head come towards the floor. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, just softening. Again, trying to tilt that pelvis so that it's reaching towards the sky. And when we're ready, bring the hands back so they're right underneath the shoulders this time. Inhale here to lengthen. Bend the knees if you need a little break. And then come back to your nice stable pose. This time bring the left hand right underneath the nose, under the center of the body. Inhale here to lengthen. As we exhale, soften the belly. Bring the right hand towards the hip. Soften the right ribs and the right shoulder and start to look towards the sky. If you can get that rotation, just let that right hand float up. Inhale here to lengthen. When we're ready to exhale, bring the hands back down. This time bringing the right hand underneath the nose. Inhale to lengthen that spine first, and then bring that left hand to the hip. Soften the belly, bring the left ribs and the left shoulder towards the sky, and then let that left hand just float right up. Light on the right hand, reaching through the left hand, reaching out through the crown of the head and back through the tailbone. Nice big inhale here, tiny bend in the knees, quads are engaged. As we exhale, bring the hands back to the floor, back to that nice neutral position with the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to lengthen. And as we exhale, start to pivot, lift up through the feet, pivot on the ball of the foot, and come back into that lunge with the right leg forward and the left leg back. Let's go ahead and press back into our down dog, alternating those heels. Nice big inhale here, nice slow exhale. If you like, you can either stay here in down dog or child's pose or move through one more vinyasa. Exhale as we slowly lower down. Inhale into our cobra or locust. And exhale back into our child's pose. Deeply breathing in here, nice slow exhale. And if you like, you can come up into down dog one more time. This will be our last down dog, so if you want, press the heels towards the floor, bend those knees, press the hips towards the back wall. Fingers are spread wide, and just really work on lengthening that spine. Nice big inhale here, nice slow complete exhale. Feel that space we've created within our bodies. Feel that length in the spine. And when you're ready, bend those knees and just sit back into child's pose for a breath or two. Walk those hands forward, spread the fingers wide. Deeply breathing in through the back of the ribs. Exhale, sinking just a little bit deeper. And when we're ready, walk the hands back. We're going to come to a nice seated position. And we'll transition into a seated position and then down onto our backs. Extend that left leg out, hug behind that right knee, and roll back one vertebra at a time, hugging the knees into the chest and gently rocking side to side. Moving the knees in a circle a few times in one direction and a few times in the other direction. And when we're ready, placing our feet down on the floor, rolling the shoulder blades down and back, moving through bridge pose. Let's start by tucking the tailbone under and lifting the spine up one vertebra at a time, reaching out through the knees, squeezing the knees together like there's a ball between the knees. And when you're ready, start at the base of the neck and just lower down one vertebra at a time. And let's move through that articulating bridge pose a couple more times. So when you need to inhale, tuck the tailbone under and lift up as high as you comfortably can and lower down, bone by bone, trying to feel the movement through each vertebra. And one more time. This time, if you want, you can lift the arms overhead. Nice big inhale, reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, bring the arms back up, lowering the body back down and bringing the hands down. And again, moving with the arms, articulating bridge. Inhale, tilt the pelvis. Lift up one vertebra at a time, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, starting at the base of the neck, lowering down, bone by bone, and bringing the hands back down. Bring the knees into the chest, gently rocking side to side. Let's go ahead and drop both knees to the right as we look to the left. Inhale as we expand. Exhale, sinking just a little bit deeper. And again, nice big inhale, lengthening the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, twisting a little bit deeper, trying to soften the shoulders, letting go of any tension through the head and neck, through the legs. And this time, bring those knees back up, gently rocking side to side. Drop the knees to the left, this time looking to the right. Inhaling here through the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, sinking a little deeper. And one more time. Breathing in as we expand. Exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. Softening the body, relaxing through the shoulders, through the hips, letting the body feel heavy. And go ahead and bring the knees back up, gently rocking side to side. And hugging the knees in the chest. When we're ready, grabbing onto our feet, letting our feet drop open into our happy baby, and gently rocking side to side. Relaxing through the hips, through the low back. Massaging the spine. Breathing in, feeling our bodies expanding, and breathing out, just letting go of any tension anywhere in the body. And when we're ready, bring our feet together, knees together, and then gently placing our feet on the floor and moving into our final relaxation. Extend our feet out away from our bodies, letting the feet drop out to the side. Hands palm up a few feet away from the body, and starting to let the body melt into the floor. Staying here for a few breaths, feeling light on every inhale and feeling heavy on every exhale. Focusing on the sound of the breath, sounding like the wind or the ocean. And on our next inhale, start to wiggle our fingers and toes. Gently start to bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. And roll to the side, taking just a few breaths to let the body adjust. And when we're ready, slowly start to push ourselves up to a nice seated position. Any comfortable seated position is fine. And let's take a nice big inhale all the way up, filling the body up, and then exhale, letting it all go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel great, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. For more fun tips and videos on mind, body, fitness, be sure to check out relaxgetfit.com. Have a great day.